Fierce and independent, the toughness of the mountain men was bred in the bone. Most Appalachian hill folk can trace their kin back 1,000 years to the mountains and moors of Scotland, where fending off the harsh environment and armies of foreign invaders was a way of life and death. The lowlands of southern Scotland, a region of rocky hills and poor soil along the border with England. From 1400 to 1600, it was a bloody war zone. The English invaded repeatedly, trying to bring the independent Scots under their direct rule. The lowlanders, farmers and warriors bound together in tight-knit clans, fought back, refusing to bow to foreign authority. This struggle to survive forged a fiery, resilient culture.
It was formed at the clan level, the local level. Part of it was the topography, which is not that different than what you see in the Appalachian Mountains today. And it was formed by constant struggle.
This endless cycle of violence went on for centuries. Finally, in 1610, King James I of Britain devised a plan to deal with the Scottish border folk. He gave them farmland in Northern Ireland, where they could fight instead with Britain's troublesome Irish population. But a century later, life was no better for these folks, now known as Scots-Irish for the addition of their adopted home turf. They were still fighting with the Irish over land, and they felt alienated and embittered toward Britain. They were ready to pull up roots.
And they were pretty rough-hewn by then. Used to being displaced, they were no longer completely Scottish after generations. And they weren't integrated with the Irish because the indigenous Irish were their enemies.
Famine and crop failures in Northern Ireland sparked a mass exodus to the New World between 1720 and 1775. More than 250,000 Scots-Irish crossed the Atlantic. Most arrived in Philadelphia or other Delaware River ports. The poor and uneducated arrivals were met with a chilly reception by the English, Dutch, and German settlers. In their view, the Scots-Irish were nothing better than a rowdy, uncouth horde. Shunned by established colonial society, the immigrants set out for the backcountry. By 1754, they were pushing deeper into the Appalachian wilderness, America's western frontier, than any settlers had before. But the land they claimed had inhabitants, the Iroquois and Cherokee, who didn't take kindly to the aggressive newcomers. The settlers didn't have much choice but to fight. The battles continued over 20 long years, and the settlers would become experts in Indian fighting tactics, learning well how to blend seamlessly into their surroundings and sneak up on their foes. After thousands of deaths on both sides, the mountain men finally won their backwoods real estate. They were now masters of the wilderness, transformed from Scots-Irish immigrants into hardcore Americans.